Ooh, yeah. Oh, yes. All right, we are live on YouTube. How is everybody doing this beautiful, amazing, I believe it's Wednesday evening? Oh, yeah. I feel real good today. Took the entire day off yesterday to spend with my lady, and my lady's still at my place. But I just felt the need to get on out here today and do a walking with purpose stream with you folks, which is what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to see where all these people are going. It's funny how like people just walk out in this area really fast and like they don't really just look at the surroundings around them. So you gotta like when you're doing a show like this in public and walking around, you gotta be really aware of your surroundings. You really do. But yeah, it's a beautiful day. A little bit windy, a little chilly, but not too chilly. It's probably about 57 degrees right now. I'm gonna cross the street. There are some people coming over here on this end, and this is gonna be a really good show. I've got a lot to talk about, and I'm sure there are many people out there that want to hear my opinions regarding certain things. And this all is going to coincide with the topic. Hitting rock bottom, right? And some people just don't understand that certain things they're doing are not sustainable long term. So they keep doing those things and they keep doing those things and they keep doing those things. And they don't stop. And they'll never stop until they hit rock bottom. And I've got the story today to update you all regarding one content creator that I tagged in this post, #LikenLegion, who is about to hit rock bottom. And I think he realizes it, and I think he's doing whatever he can to save his sinking ship. That he knows that it's not sustainable long term. He's always known that this is not sustainable long term. But he just never listens to anyone that's told him this time and time again in the past. Especially myself. He's just told me to F off many times. And hey, that's all right, dude. I take your F-offs to me as a term of endearment, right? Every time this dude has told me to F off over the last 5 years, while I was legitimately trying to help him out, I just kind of laughed. Because I just knew eventually what's happening to him right now would happen. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. Give me a second. We've got some people right here, so I want to walk by quietly and be respectful. People also walking outside of the trail. So I'm going to go on the left side because they're coming on the left on their side, on my right. And that's all good. I try to be inconspicuous when I do these shows. I know I have this selfie sticking camera here, but I kind of try to put it off to the side so people don't think like I'm getting them in the, in the video or on the stream. Let's see who's here. Casually Unfiltered Forever. Hey, Chris, how you doing, bro? Welcome to the show. Michael Portnay's here. Coach Eli was right again as usual. LOL. Standing by and waiting, says Coach J-Rom. Hey, welcome to the show, Coach J-Rom. Amish, channel member. Thank you again for being a channel member, Amish. You would like to think people learn a lesson, but sorry to say that is not always the case. Well, that's usually not the case, Amish, because some people are so set in their ways, right? They're so set in their ways that even if somebody like myself is trying to legitimately help them, better themselves, they just say F you, like this Like and Legion guy said for years, right? And for the last 5 years, or maybe I'd say probably 4 years, because the first year he wasn't doing this stuff. For the last 4 years, he has been, sitting on his high and almighty horse. His high horse, right? An almighty horse, right? And he's probably thought that, oh, this will never end. I've got this. I'm a world-class manipulator. I can continue to play this lather, rinse, and repeat game for years and intentionally trigger people to, while I bring them on a panel, to create fake instigated drama that's paid for by my fake sponsor that runs a fake caregiving business. It's basically a shell company just to funnel tax write-offs through. Okay, that's the truth, folks. I'm not sitting here saying anything that isn't true. This is the truth, 100%, right? And then the people in the audience that are supposed to be loyal to me pay me donations on top of being sponsored for this fake crap, right? But the people don't know it's fake. The people think it's real, right? Because if they didn't think it was real, they wouldn't be there to pay him donations anyway, right? And then it's all about just swapping audience members that are donating on and off the panel and continuously creating fake instigated drama, intentionally triggering these people, right? And then he whines and complains that after playing these people and they figure out his game, which is a very selfish game just to make money, right? Then he whines and complains like a little female dog that, when times are tough, like his community post, when times are tough, your real friends will stand by you. Well, bro, how do you expect people to be your friends when you're playing one big game, one big selfish game? It's all about you and your pocketbook and maybe a little piece of ass on the side, right? I'll share more about that in a little bit. I'm going to share my thoughts about what's been going on with hashtag Like and Legion channel and the Granny's Watching channel run by a woman named Jess. And I did make a comment on one of Jess's stream the other day, but then she put it to private, but I think she flipped it back to public. There's a lot going on between hashtag Like and Legion and the Granny's Watching channel. I think she's a millennial too. I don't know exactly how old she is, but I think she's in her mid-30s. Maybe someone can let me know, right? And this is just for example purposes because I have another story to update you folks on as well regarding my girlfriend's 27-year-old daughter and regarding how my girlfriend's 27-year-old daughter a few days ago told my girlfriend that she doesn't want her or myself coming to her engagement party or the wedding, right? There's an update to that story. I found out something last night that my lady told me, and she's at my place, and she knows I'm going to talk about this. She's cool with it. But wait till you hear this. This just blew my mind, right? Or like, this just blew my mind. Like, and it'll probably blow your mind, especially if you're a guy in this crazy modern dating world we live in of feminism and radical feminism, right? This will just blow your freaking mind, right? I've never seen anything like this, right? So, and I'm Gen X, right? I'm 48 years old. I'm Gen X. I'm really not trying to be critical to the millennial generation. I'm really not. I'm trying to help them, especially the men, become real men, because the main issue, the reason why millennial women are so messed up is because millennial men aren't men. They're sissies. Most of them, not all of them. Most of them are sissies, right? They have no spine. They have no balls. They have no emotional intelligence. They lack emotional awareness. They lack emotional self-control. They act like little female dogs. So how in the hell can any of these millennial women respect these guys? And are these millennial women surprised that they're single when the guys from their generation are the most pathetic guys that have ever lived on the face of this planet? Right? Let me see here. Yes, you are correct, says Michael Portnoy. GW is 33 or 34, so she's a little bit younger than Lycan Legion. He's like 36 or almost 37, something like that, right? Empress Jenna, how you doing? Sorry, I started my show a little bit later. I'll explain more about that in a few. Glad that you're here. Thank you for being here, moderator Empress Janet, and moderator also Coach J-Rom. Wuhan Bat Soup. I don't know who that is. Sock account. You know, I don't like any channel name that starts with P-U-S-S-Y. So I'm going to just go ahead and ban you. I don't need any derogatory sock accounts in here. You're going to come in either on your real name or at least some normal sock account or normal bank account if you're trying to protect your identity. That's just stupid. Coach J-Rom says, like I said in my short, there's a reason millennial women want to date us older men. Yeah, because we're emotionally stronger, or way stronger. We're emotionally we're emotionally stronger, emotionally intelligent, emotionally aware, right? We have emotional self-control. Now, granted, Coach J-Rom, even the best of us guys can lose our emotional shit every now and then. But us Gen Xers, you know, we do a pretty good job of maintaining our emotional self-control. There are times when I first came out here on YouTube because I let this, you know, guy that runs the hashtag Lycan Legion channel get to me. You know, he intentionally triggered me and I said some things I didn't mean. But I learned my lesson, I apologized, and I moved on. And then he continued making content out of those pieces of content where I got triggered for years because I gave him nothing new. And interestingly enough, the other day, I think it was yesterday, he puts out the full episode of a stream I did with Lycan Legion and Charles F. Gray, a Canadian content creator. This was done on Charles's channel in 2019. And Lycan Legion on his Lycan Theory After Dark channel puts out the entire stream that doesn't belong to him. He does not own the copyright to that. If Charles F. Gray wanted to strike him down, he could. I'm not saying to do that, but I'm just showing how pathetic this is, right? And he puts in the title that, you know, Coach Eli embezzles, you know, $500 from me. I never did such a thing. It's pathetic, right? I'm not triggered by it. I'm just sharing with you what this guy will do when he's desperate for content, right? I went on that show and I basically, you know, was trying to make amends with this guy who runs the hashtag Lycan Legion channel now. And he wanted me to go on a panel with him and talk things out and work things out. And I said, you know what? You've taken so much money from me stealing my content, like, pay me $500 and we'll call it even, right? Nothing wrong with that. That's not embezzling money. And that's asking for restitution. He knows it and I know it, right? But see how he likes to try to amp up the drama by saying that I embezzled $500 from him, right? There was no money ever exchanged. right? But what's even more pathetic is that he has to go back and re-upload an entire stream that happened in 2019, like about 3 years ago. And it's even a stream that doesn't belong to him. It's not even his stream. It's Charles F. Gray's stream. How pathetic is that, right? How pathetic is that? The sun is supposed to go down and set at 7:30 Pacific, which is 10:30 Eastern. So I have enough time to at least do this part of the trail before it starts to get even remotely dark. Let's see here. I thought that, Eli, please tell us what to ban, timeout, or remove. Comment, please. Well, Janet, whatever you think is trollish, go ahead and ban them. If it's clearly a troll, just ban them, Janet. If they're not, then leave them for me. I'll get to it and then I'll decide. But anything with PUSSY, anything derogatory in the channel name, ban them immediately. I don't want that crap. They're just playing games. No one that's here for the right reasons is going to have a derogatory sock account that starts with PUSSY, right? Listen, all of us guys have referred to that part of a woman's region in that way, but there's no need to come here and troll with an account that starts with that word. Come on, that's pathetic. Let me see here. Let me see. Coach Eli says, yes, but we're smarter. Our work ethic is better. We're protective. We're emotionally, physically, and mentally stronger, and we're better lovers. Good points there, J. Ram, and I agree with you. Adventures with JT. John Tuttle, I need to moderate you, bro. I keep forgetting to do that. I will do that later tonight. It wasn't the first time that happened to him, Chris. Yep, that's true. Michael says, mid-30s guy blew it. She was so out of his league. I hope he doesn't do the revenge porn pics of Jess. Because, I was going to talk about that here today. Because this guy likes to blackmail women. I've talked about it before, right? So, Granny's watching Jess. I hope you didn't send this guy any provocative photos of you. Let's just say it the respectful way. Provocative photos of you. Because he will blackmail you with those, right? That's what he does. That's what he does, because he knows eventually you're going to try to leave him. And then when you do, he will spread those all over his Discord. Now, he won't put them out on YouTube because his channel will get shut down, for putting out provocative photos. That's against the terms of service, right? This is not Pornhub. This is YouTube, okay? But he will blackmail you with them if he already has it, right? So I hope not too, but you never know with this guy. There's somebody coming. Let me just pull up the side here real quick. That's pretty deep here. Give me a second here, folks. Adventure with JT. I wish we wouldn't even mention these people, Coach Eli. We are above these people. It is like rolling around in the mud with a pig. The pigs like it. We should just move on from them and do our own. I'll address it in a second, JT. Let's see. Got it, Eli. Thanks for responding. You're welcome. Hashtag Empress Janet. It was great to be on your panel for a few minutes earlier today. Good points again, Coach Eli. Thank you, Adventures with JT. Here's the thing, JT. There's a reason why I'm talking about this. There's a reason why I'm talking about this, and I'm just going to go public and state this, okay? I'm going to go public and state this, and I really don't care, because I'm at the point right now where I'm rebuilding this, and I'm taking this where it was meant to go many years ago. I've been doing this for 5 years, and because of what the Lycan Legion guy has done, along with the Gunner guy on the other side, but more so over the last several years. The Gunner guy's backed off, and the Legion guy has continued to use my content to make money, right? And if you notice, like, him and Gunner are not talking about me because I went after their sponsor again, which is the right thing to do. So now they're trying to keep it quiet because they don't want their audience to know the truth, and they don't want, new people they're trying to recruit into their game to figure out the truth, right? So they're keeping it quiet because the more they talk about me, the more attention they're going to bring to my channel that's sharing the truth. So partially, JT, and I know you're right. You're absolutely right. But partially the reason why I'm doing this is to continue to raise awareness for the new people that are trying to be indoctrinated into the Lycan Legion and into the Gunner squad, right? Let's just call it that, right? That are sponsored and store-bought by the fake caregiving sponsor, Texas Caregiver, who runs a shell company just to funnel tax write-offs through, right? But the other reason why I'm doing this is because, and I'm not going to share too much about this because I've been talking with J-Ron behind the scenes, and Coach J-Ron is a good dude. I've never thought anything bad about you, dude. I think you know that by now. Sure, like you said, we have our differences, but I think we are on the same page on this. And I'll just say this. Both myself and J-Rom are really, really not happy at what the Lycan Legion guy continues to do. That not only affects us, but affects other people that we care for and other innocent people on this platform, right? Right? And I'll put it this way, right? If the Lycan Legion guy does not stop doing this stupid stuff, okay, and doesn't stop putting out content on me and older content and trying to continue to defame my character and all that stuff, and doesn't stop coming at the Roms, the J-Rom and his woman and other people we care for, then there's going to be some serious action taken. I'm not going to mention what that's going to be, but all I will tell you is it's all within the legal limits of the law. And it's come to the point where enough is enough. This guy is just not going to stop. He is absolutely not going to stop until he hits rock bottom. And he's practically almost at rock bottom. And if he doesn't stop and keeps going, the action that myself, along with Jerome and many others, that we will take, that's well within our rights to take, will basically put him under. And when I say put him under, I mean rock bottom. It'll cancel him. It'll basically cancel him. He's practically canceled himself, but he's hanging on by a thread. He is literally hanging on by a thread from being canceled. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let's see. Mid-30s guy is really soft, says Chris. Ridiculous. Adventures with JT like butter. Chris, LOL. NC is queen, says Eli. Oh, NC, is that Natasha Cooper? Is that actually you, Natasha, or somebody pretending to be Natasha? Who is that? Chris Ridiculous says LOL. Michael says she was devastated. She had a total meltdown yesterday. Can you tell me more about... Are you talking about Granny's watching Jess, the supposed former internet girlfriend of the Lycan Legion? Right? What happened? Because, her and Lycan Legion, Granny's watching and Lycan Legion, they were both playing the back and forth game yesterday. And then after a little while, when their streams were done, they would put their streams to private. It's like, why are you going to put out Why are you going to go back and forth with each other and then put it to private? Why waste your time to do that? And here's the thing. There are people that are invested in your story and are immediately downloading your streams or screen recording them. So we've got the streams. We've got it out there. Just waiting for this one guy to pass by. The Louisiana guy is botting me again. Sir, I told you can bot all my streams all you want. Keep spending your money. Do whatever you want to do. You are a pathetic loser. Mid-40s guy from Louisiana. Absolutely pathetic, right? And now the mid-30s guy, the Like Legion guy, he's trolling me in here with sock accounts. That's what he's doing. He's sending all his people on sock accounts to troll me. It's really pathetic, dude. You have nothing better to do with your life than send people in here to troll. Just keep banning those people. Give me a second here, folks. Natasha's stream yesterday was great. What happened on that stream? Hi, Michael says NC is queen. JT says that's true, Coach Eli. It is rough to watch those. All right, folks. I'm back. I'm sorry. I accidentally shut down the YouTube app while I was scrolling through here. I'm sorry about that. That was my fault. I didn't get cut off. I cut myself off. I'm back though. So yeah, what happened on Natasha's stream yesterday? I'm not Natasha, but I adore her. Okay, that's great. J-Rob, Coach J-Rob says it won't be pretty for him. I've warned him. I'm willing to take this to places he won't like. And I'm willing to join you on that, J-Rob. And here's the thing, J-Rob. You know, like I said, I'd rather, and I think you would rather handle this the mature way too, or the simple way, right? Because here's the thing. That Legion guy has absolutely no support right now. Right? He's lost a lot of support and he's on his own, right? And right now, in my opinion, he is very, very vulnerable for everything that's coming at him and that he's getting. And that's all because of what he's done to other people, right? I don't think the Legion guy realizes how vulnerable he is, right? Because people that were once supporting you, you know, a Legion guy, mid-30s guy, no longer support you for the same reasons, you know, regarding why everyone else stopped supporting you, right? So right now, you know, he's put himself in a position where if he doesn't stop doing what he's doing, he's definitely going to lose everything he's got. That is my prediction. And my predictions, I'm not trying to say them all, that have been very accurate. And I'm coming out here saying this because I don't want to see the guy lose it all. I don't want to see the guy get shut down. I don't want to see the guy lose his house, his car, everything. He has no idea. He has no idea the amount of liability he's put on his shoulders based on what he's done. Even if one of these women reports him for sexual harassment or something like that, right? If one of these women reports him, he's screwed. He has no clue the position he's put himself into, right? And that's only the beginning of it, right? Right? There's a whole lot more. There's a lot of copyright issues involved. That's what's the issue. That's the issue with me. Okay? There's been a lot of extortion involved. Okay? There's been the targeted hate attack. Right? There's an abundance of evidence. There's an abundance of evidence that I've got, probably J-Rom has, and many other people have regarding the shady tactics of this guy. And he still keeps moving forward. And he does it without shame, right? But I honestly don't think he realizes the amount of liability exposure he has put on himself and his sponsor, right? And just because his sponsor is not publicly sponsoring them anymore or probably paying them, now through cryptocurrency, that doesn't mean he's off the hook. You guys have no idea. You guys have no idea the amount of liability exposure you put yourselves into, right? And we've all been willing to let it go as long as you stop. We're at the point right now where if you don't stop, we're going to move forward with what we need to do to get it to stop. And, mid-30s guy, Legion, you've been ignoring me, which is fine. I know why you're ignoring me, right? So as the other guy, the gunner guy, you've all been ignoring me, right? You're all probably saying, starve Eli out. Don't give him any notoriety, right? But also, you don't want people knowing the truth about what's going on because you don't want the liability exposure, which is too late, and you don't want people learning your game that you need to continue playing to survive, right? Give me a second here. Let me look at the chat. Yes, Grady's watching, says Michael. Coach Aaron says, actually, she was never his GF. He labeled her as such. No, I don't pretend to be Natasha. Says NC is Queen. Adventures with JT. Yeah. Old what his face. Paul is a patsy. White knighting follower for his daddy liking. What a punk. Yeah, that's because Paul has no content. And Paul has some serious mental and emotional issues. No disrespect. It's just the truth, right? And, Paul even simulcasted my stream a couple days ago. Maybe he's simulcasting this one. I don't care. I'm not going to copyright strike any of you. You guys are all going to burn yourselves, right? Right? It's not a big deal, right? This whole thing is coming to an end, whether you guys like it or not. This whole thing's coming to an end, and you guys are just trying to hold on to it. You guys are all trying to hold on to it because you guys are all living in each other's misery. All you guys that support Lycan are just sulking in each other's misery. That's it. That's all it is, right? Michael says she actually cared for him. He was to fly next week for a straight-up booty call. She even paid $300 a night hotel room. Why would she? Okay, here's the thing. I've talked with my woman about this, so my woman knows I'm with her. Okay? I thought I saw a picture of Jess, and she looks all right. She looks okay. She's a decent-looking woman, right? And look, I'm not here to put any woman on a pedestal, but facts are facts, right? Okay? She's way too attractive for a guy like the mid-30s guy. Let's just call him James, right? Okay? James is out of shape. Okay? Doesn't take care of himself. In my opinion, doesn't dress very well. And she's the complete opposite of that. But my whole thing is this. What do you guys think a woman like Jess, Granny's watching, would find attractive in a guy like James, a.k.a. Lycan Legion? What would she find physically attractive, and what would she find mentally and emotionally attractive? You see, here's the thing. Granny's watching. I'll tell you what. I heard your stream the other day, right? I heard your stream the other day. You put it to private, and then you put it back to public today, where you were reviewing my stream. No problem. I'm not going to copyright strike you. I'm all good, right? Right? But you said, come on up, Eli. Come onto my stream. Well, why don't we do a special show? where if you want me to come on your channel, and maybe I'll have you on mine at some point down the road if you want, no problem, and we can talk about this, just you and me. You can label it at Coach Eli, Elias Melas, special guest to discuss what's really going on, right? I'm on your side, Jess, completely, right? And trust me, having me, I'm not trying to say I'm all that. I'm a humble guy. But having me on your show would bring you a lot of traction. Okay? But it's not even really for the traction. Yes, I do want you to grow. I want us to all grow. We're YouTubers, right? But you want to get to the bottom of this? Let's do it. And I'm curious to know, what did you find physically attractive about him? And beyond that, what did you find emotionally attractive about him, mentally attractive about him? What attracted you about that guy to spend? Now I'm hearing you were getting a room for $300 a night. What, for 2 nights, $600? And he was going to split it with you 50-50, and then he canceled out the last minute, and now you're probably on the hook for at least one of those nights. And for Christ's sake, why would you as a woman need to pay for something like that? I mean, maybe James, like and Legion, convinced you to pay for half of that at least, right? At least that's what was probably initially happening, right? This is what I don't get. You have attractive, decent-looking women, and there are other guys out there that would treat them so much better, right? And pay for something like this, right? But when it comes to that, these women ignore those guys, right? Because maybe some of them are beta males, right? These women like the bad boys, right? Right? So you end up choosing the supposed bad boy. I don't know if I'd call Like and Legion a bad boy. He's just a bad actor, I'll tell you that. He's a bad actor, right? So you chose, let's just call him the bad boy. You chose him, and you were willing to spend $300 on a top-notch room, and you expected him to fly to you, and you get the expensive room. And what attracted you to him in the first place? I'm not trying to be rude. I'm curious to know. I'm curious to know. Aren't you guys curious to know? Good question. Then Granny's watching, deleted the channel, then brought it back up and talked about Natasha Cooper. And see, she never deleted her channel, folks. She put all her videos to private. Folks, if someone deletes their channel, it will say, you know, this YouTuber has closed their YouTube account. If they hide their channel, it'll say this channel no longer exists. If they put all their videos to private, the channel's still there. There are just no videos publicly available. I'm not saying I'm all that. I'm the YouTube master. I know everything about YouTube, inside and out. I want to get to the bottom of this. She never, ever, ever shut down her channel. She never closed her channel. She never hid her channel. She put all her videos to private. She has a monetized channel. Why in the world would she shut down a monetized YouTube channel? That would be a dumb thing to do, right? So she put those videos to private, and I think she was just kind of playing along with the game. Maybe she was wondering if people were downloading her videos or not. Yeah, people are downloading them. GW. But there's really no need to re-upload those videos or rehash them, even if you don't put them back to public, because she hasn't put everything back to public. She's put some of it back to public, right? Okay? But let's talk about it. How about we talk about this with some real people that are on your side, and we can share with you exactly what's going on. And we'd also like to find out more about what this guy does to sweet talk women, to love bomb them at the door. What did this guy do? What levels of deep manipulation did he do to get you to go as far and spend $300 in a hotel room? God, Jesus Christ. I would never expect my woman to do anything that lavish for me. And she would never expect me to do anything that lavish for her. Now, for my woman, I would do anything. You know why? She's earned it, right? And I respect her and she respects me. But where's the respect here? I mean, this is like, wow, man. I'm like, this is unlike anything I've ever seen. Millennials. What happened to relationships? What happened to real decent relationships? And wait till I get to the update on my girlfriend's daughter's story, right? Another millennial. She's 27. What's going on here? Mid-30s guy is lonely. JT, is your 280 plus in the box wheel, or are you being botted? We're being botted. We're being botted by the pathetic, insecure, and immature mid-40s guy in Louisiana who's unhappily married to his high school sweetheart. And he's just bored, lonely, and miserable. And he thinks that it's bothering me. He's actually more so helping me out. See, here's the thing. YouTube will remove all of those views, those botted views on the replay. So I don't care about that. But what he's doing is he's bringing more value to my stream for people that come across it. And they say, oh, Eli has 316 people in the box? Oh, let's go check it out, right? So he's actually helping me more than hurting me. And he's spending his money doing it. So, hey, so be it. But no, those are bots. I have no doubt in my mind. Those are botted views. Or botted viewers. They will be removed by YouTube when the stream is over. Let me reset the chat here because I think my chat got stuck. 16 thumbs up. Thank you so much for being here, folks. Be right back. All right, we're back. We're back, folks. Let me get the show started here. We're back, so let me get the show started here, and then I'll continue. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, the Walking with Purpose live edition, live from the SF Bay Trail in beautiful Redwood City, California. This is episode number 260. Wow, we've done 260 of these. Whew, wow. Episode number 260. The topic is hashtag Lycan Legion. Hold on a second here. Excuse me. Something stuck in my throat. Give me a second here, folks. I'll be right back. All right, folks, we're back. Sorry, there was something weird happening on my screen, and I wanted to make sure it was back and not audio only. Sometimes when it freezes on the screen, I've gone back to check that out on the replay, and it just shows a black screen with audio. But anyway, the topic is hashtag Lycan Legion. Hitting rock bottom is the biggest lesson learned. Karma. One more time, hashtag Lycan Legion. Hitting rock bottom is the biggest lesson learned. And I'm not just saying this about the hashtag Lycan Legion channel and network, right? They're about to really find out what hitting rock bottom means. Whether they agree with me or not, it doesn't matter. It's inevitable. It's always been inevitable what's going to happen to him. Now it's starting to happen. And despite what he says each and every day, if you look at his content, if you look at his postings, he is doing whatever he can to save whatever is left of his sinking ship. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. Guys and gals, correct me if I'm wrong. I'd love to get your opinion on this, right? And anyone that does stupid things that are not sustainable long-term, regardless of what those things are, okay, eventually it's going to catch up to you and you're going to hit rock bottom. Now, most decent people will figure this out before they hit rock bottom, but some people are so damn stubborn, like Lycan Legion, right, that he's never going to stop doing anything he wants to do until he hits rock bottom and it destroys him financially. And that's why you're going to see, oh, there was a bird there, but it flew away. That's why you're going to see my prediction that he's going to be canceled very, very soon. I gave him until he was 40 initially, but now, after what I've seen happen lately, I foresee him getting canceled sometime this year. Maybe even before summer. And that's because he's harmed so many people on this platform. And the only way he's surviving this platform is by using the same MO over and over and over again, right? And now so many people know it, women and men, that more people are speaking out, they're stepping up, and they're like, we've had enough of this. And we're going to continue to warn people as often as we need until it stops. And if it doesn't stop, then certain people involved, including myself, that have a very big vested interest in this due to the financial loss and other things we've lost out of it, we will take it further if we have to. No doubt about it. We hope it doesn't go there, but if it has to go there, we will go there. Hang on a second. Let me see. You're good at it, Coach J. Rom. I have a good game of whack-a-troll. He overplayed his hand, says James. NC was calling out Lycan, Lies, and Granny for their hypocrisy. What kind of a man gets a female to pay for his hotel? That is true. That is true. What kind of a female allows a man to do that to her? That says more about her, too. No disrespect, Jess, Granny's watching. I mean, why would you even allow a guy to do that to you? I mean, that's just pretty... That's just ridiculous, right? Hang on. We've got the sun in my eye right here. I can barely see this. Years of practice with 40s guy and 30s guy at Empress Janet. That's true. From the other side of the drama zone. That's true. He isn't willing to pay for anything, says JT. You're right. Empress Janet says, please hit the like. Thank you. Michael says, NC is queen. You are so right. How scummy can you be that he made a single mom pay the hotel room for a booty call? He has no class. I mean, look, it's one thing for him even asking that. It's another thing for her willing to do it. Coach J. Ron, Paul is going through some serious things at home, and I truly feel bad for him, but it doesn't excuse the behavior. No, it doesn't excuse his behavior at all. He's lashing out. He's a grown-ass man. He's in his 50s. Michael says they were BF and GF, but he wanted to own her. Oh, man. Hashtag Empress Janet says, he then tried to say he gave her half. That could be a fake picture. She never turned her camera on. Yeah, why did she turn her camera on? Like, is she like not? Maybe that was an older picture of her where she was in shape. Has she gained a lot of weight? Like, why don't you turn your camera on, Jess? I mean, no disrespect. I'm just wondering, like if she's gained some weight and she's, not in the best shape like she used to be probably, I can see why she would, do something like pay for this hotel room. Because when women gain weight and stuff, okay, and they lose, what do you call that? They stop feeling attractive, so they kind of just, they don't get the same attention they did when they were in good shape, so they kind of settle for what they can get. That wouldn't make sense. I'm not trying to be critical, Granny's watching Jess, but that's the only thing that would make logical sense to me. Maybe she gained some weight, and maybe the mid-30s guy, James, Lycan Legion, was the best she could get, at least in her eyes, but it's not a good enough reason to do that. NC is queen. There's nothing attractive about James. I'll agree with you on that. Michael says he manipulated her with his word salad. He took full advantage of her. LOL. Michael says she didn't date for 4 years. She was desperate. Well, she probably gained some weight. And with no disrespect, she probably gained some weight and probably lost her self-confidence, right? She probably felt less attractive. This is what I've been trying to say. And so she settled for James. He seemed too good to be true. Says Michael Portnoy. NC is queen. Would you have to be desperate to date James? I'd say so. Let's see. Michael says basically he was telling her that she is beneath him and he is so much intellectually superior. Yeah, with her actions, that I never heard her say that, but maybe her actions were showing that. Seems to me, says JT, if you were desperate before him, she would just end up more desperate after him. Yeah, this is just wow. Let's see. I don't need to read that. Michael says she has a bunch of low-life losers in her past, and she actually thought he could be her Prince Charming. Well, then he manipulated her. He love bombed her at the door. He wooed her. Wow. Who is that Mr. Orange Martin? Is that a sock account? Keep an eye on that account, folks. I'll be right back. Let me reset the chat one more time before I head back. Let's see here. We're back. Nice view, says JT. Thank you, bro. Mod me up? No, Mr. Orange Martin. Have yourself a good night. Bye-bye. All right, folks. We are heading back. What kind of man only FaceTimes women? Listen, JT, and I'd love to talk more about these topics. We don't have to talk about James and Jess and, you know, Like and Legion and Granny's watching. Here's what I think is happening. I think they are both, and no disrespect, Jess. I'm open to talking with you, and I'm not even trying to come at you. I'm just speaking the truth. I think they're both very insecure. A lot of it has to do with, you know, they're probably, they're both, I know James is out of shape. I'm assuming that Jess doesn't go on camera because she probably doesn't look as good as she used to, or she's probably not in the same shape she used to be in, you know? And, you know, I guess I can kind of understand that, but if you're unhappy with the way you look physically, you just, you know, get yourself in better shape. Start eating better, walk every day like I do, right? And then you'll build your confidence back and you'll attract better quality guys, right? So I think the reason why those two ended up getting together is because they're in the same boat, right? They're both insecure, they're both immature, right? And they both are having difficulty getting the type of partner they really want. That's what I think is happening. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? I say this respectfully, but there's really no way to say it without triggering them because the truth hurts. That's the truth of the matter, right? And how can I help people, you know, learn to better themselves if I don't speak of the truth, right? Right? That's clearly what's happening here. And I'll answer more questions on this as the show goes on, as I head back out on the trail before the sun goes totally down, because it's going to start to go down. There we are. And I don't want to get caught up in the dark. I had to start later today. I had to take my my mother to a doctor's appointment. And so, you know, then I had to go and pick her up. And so it kind of just threw my day a little upside down. But, you know, I love my mother, I love my family first, you know. So that's why I started this stream later. And, you know, if you're on the East Coast and it's, how long have we been on for? 54 minutes, so it's probably closer to 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. If you're wondering why there's still a light out on the live stream, you're on the East Coast, because it's daylight savings time. And, you know, right now, today I checked, the sun sets at 7:30. It'll probably get dark closer to 7:45 or 7:50. And as we get closer to summer, it won't get dark until like 8:30 or 8:45 or even closer to 9. And that's great because there's more time to do these streams. Let's see. Michael says, all I know, she showed her butt and boobs and hopes he doesn't disclose if they FaceTime a lot. Well, I hope he doesn't do that, but he has done that in the past, so I wouldn't be surprised. Adventures with JT says, what kind of man only FaceTimes women? I agree. Janet says, she is suspect, Eli. She likes the drama. Her and NC going back and forth. Now, that's what I was thinking too. Like, I never put this past me or anyone else, but this could be all one big fabricated drama shit show, right? You never know with these people, right? Because Natasha has been doing this for a while and she's grown a big following. Jess, Granny's watching, has gone back and forth with Natasha. Jess, Granny's watching, probably grew her channel off of Natasha's people, right? And now James, a.k.a. Lycan Legion, is trying to get a piece of all this, right? And now maybe they're all thinking, well, if we just go back and forth and get people talking about us, we'll continue to grow. You never know. If that's the case, that's pretty damn pathetic. And the only one that's really going to win here is Natasha and maybe possibly Jess. Because here's the thing. The difference in the MO that Natasha and Jess, Granny's watching, have is that they don't treat people the way James, Lycan Legion, does. They don't intentionally trigger people and then force them to donate. You see, the MO, the way that Lycan Legion does things, it basically forces people to continue doing what he says and to continue paying donations and continue supporting him, and don't go to any competitors' channels or you're out, right? But why does Lycan Legion have to do that? Because here's the thing. Women are going to do a lot better doing drama channels than men are, right? What Lycan Legion James is doing is something that women have always done better and always had more traction doing. So women will naturally get an audience regarding drama because women to a certain extent, I told my lady this earlier today, women to a certain extent love a little bit of drama, at least a little bit of drama in their lives, right? But men are not known as drama queens, right? So in order for James, Lycan Legion, to continue being the drama queen, he has to force people to stick around. He has to do things the way that he's doing it, right? But the other two women, the other two people involved, the women, are just being themselves pretty much. And yeah, what they're doing may be a little pathetic at times, or more than at times, but at least these women are being true to themselves. James is not. This is all fake with James, right? And that's why it always clashes. I'm telling you folks, tell me I'm wrong. Let me see here. Good job looking out, Janet. I don't know the woman to say, but if you do, that's good info, says JT. JT says, Coach Rom looked out for Coach Eli on the RJ situation. So good catches, guys. Oh, I already knew that. Anyone involved with Brutally Lauren, you just got to get out. She's another drama queen, and it's just not worth it. GW is always attacking Natasha, says NC is queen. Michael says, RJ's an awesome guy. I always look forward to see him on Natasha's panel. RJ's a good guy, but I'm staying away from him as long as he's a part of Lauren's network or friends with Lauren. It's just, I don't want anything to do with, that's just further, that's just more drama, unnecessary drama there. Facts, Eli, says Janet. Sell souls for views? That's true, that's what they do. I'm not a fan of Granny's watching, says Michael. Okay, cool. Me neither, says that Michael Portnoy. Waste of time. JT says, yeah, RJ is good if he's left alone, but he has people manipulating his channel right now. He's always had people manipulating him because he has Asperger's, a form of autism, and people with Asperger's have difficulty understanding certain social cues. So I gave up on RJ. I just don't. I don't even try anymore. There are too many other people that want to work with me for the right reasons and that to deal with RJ drama. I'm actually blocked there, says JT. That sucks. Sorry about that, man. Janet says, boring, LOL. Both her and her man, LOL. He begged to be with her. She wears Crocs on date at Michael Portnoy. I don't take no one serious wearing Crocs. Okay. I got to go warm me up something to eat. I'm listening, though. Okay, cool, JT. Janet says, mid-30s guy got a membership on Granny's and then got dumped. Janet says he's calling names. None of that here, Eli. Okay, that's cool. They are preying on people with disabilities, says Janet. True. And my block says NC is queen. Nope, we see you. Why would you be blocked? Michael says RJ is only using Lauren for protection against the mid-30s guy. I doubt that. Here's the thing. As far as the mid-30s guy goes, he's gonna be canceled soon. I'm telling you, he's just totally canceling himself. He is literally hanging on by a thread from being canceled. And quite honestly, like, I want to move past this story and just basically cold turkey stop talking about him like JT's saying. And the reason why I've kept on mentioning it is because he continues to do stupid things, and I want to continue warning people, and I want to continue protecting good people, right? And despite, what, Granny's watching has done, and how Granny's watching has gone on Natasha, she doesn't deserve to go through what she's gone through with the Legion guy, with James. Nobody deserves that, right? Sometimes people have a little fun on YouTube and they go at each other and they create a little drama. That's one thing. But, when you take this into real life and then it starts costing innocent people money, right? I mean, that's pretty nuts. And listen, most of the stuff that's happened with Natasha and Granny's watching, from what I've heard, has been just on YouTube. It hasn't gone off of YouTube. With the exception of when I heard that, Natasha's bank account was shut down. But again, I don't have all the information and I really don't know what happened there. And I don't really care to look into it. I don't care. It's just stupid. Let me just wait over here. Somebody's coming back. I'm going to wait for them to pass me up. Janet says, everyone is welcome till you ruin it for yourself. Eli's not a bad person, and I won't let anyone attack him. He can take care of himself, but I am his pit bull. He can release the beast. Well, Janet, I appreciate that, but I can't handle myself. My lady feels the same way. Like, ladies, I understand it's the modern world. You're all empowered, but I can handle my own. But I appreciate the support. It's all good. So let me talk about another situation here, an update regarding my girlfriend's 27-year-old daughter. If you missed this story, go check out the past 2-3 Walking with Purpose streams where I shared what's been going on. Just a little recap. My girlfriend's daughter is 27 years old. She's engaged to I heard he's 34 years old, a 34-year-old man. They're both millennials. Her man is a beta male. And my girlfriend's daughter has been pretty mean to her mother for quite some time. But more so, she started to amp it up as it's gotten closer to, the wedding and an engagement party that's going to be happening, before the wedding. So they're supposed to get married, I think, in about a year or so, a little less than a year, and a little less than 6 months is supposed to be the engagement party. And, my girlfriend and her mother and my girlfriend's daughter's fiance and his mother, because his father's not around, they all were supposed to get together last Saturday to talk about the engagement party. And my girlfriend's daughter went off out of nowhere on my girlfriend, on her mother, and said, you know, you're not welcome to the engagement party. You're not welcome, you know, to the wedding, and I don't want you in my life anymore, and I don't want anything to do with your boyfriend or anything. Wow, right? And it broke my woman's heart, right? It just broke my woman's heart, right? And my lady tried to turn it around, but you know, she just was just being really, really super, super mean, right? So, you know, my lady's been spending the past few nights with me, you know, at my place. She stayed over Monday night, stayed over last night, Tuesday night. She's staying over this night, and going back home and back to work tomorrow. And she's just been really, really sad about it, right? Because, you know, mothers love their kids unconditionally, right? And we've been trying to figure this whole thing out. I've shared my thoughts about it. But last night, my lady told me something that really told me something about herself, and told me something about her daughter that just blew my mind. It'll blow your mind away, at least for the guys, maybe the women too. And first of all, my lady was telling me that, you know, my first relationship after I divorced my husband, right? My husband and I got divorced. Okay. I was with a guy that didn't have any money, was down in the dumps, but I thought he was a good guy. So I thought that because women now are empowered and women now can do everything that men could always do, I felt like I should be the provider and take care of things. Right? And I was like, wow, really? I'm like, wow, that sounds like a feminist or radical feminist, right? I looked at my lady. We were having this conversation at my place. I looked at her like a deer in headlights. I'm like, whoa, man, wow. And then it started to really, really, really kick in, right? See, my lady used to be a nurse, and at some point she'll share the story why she's no longer a nurse, whatever she wants to share when we do her interview in a few months regarding everything she's been through. She'll share it. But when she was a nurse, she was on top of this world. And she even said it. She felt like she was the shit. She felt like, wow, I got the money, got the good career, blah, 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 right? And after her divorce, she came across this guy and basically wanted to wear the pants in the relationship, and felt that that was just the way things are going nowadays in this world because women have been liberated. I was like, wow, that wouldn't work for me. But wow, how could you respect a guy? I was trying to make sense of it. Like, how could you respect a guy where you're providing everything, the money, the emotional support, right? Everything, right? She goes, you know, I was going through a rough time. I was trying to keep my mind off my husband, my ex-husband, and what happened, and all that. I'm like, wow. And I started just saying, wow, I guess the feminist agenda got you. Well, let me tell you about my daughter. I haven't told you this about my daughter. My daughter, can you folks still hear me? Let me know. Type in the chat and I'll be right back. I'm gonna tell you what happened next. It was pretty interesting. Okay. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. We're back, and the botting has stopped, and we have 40 in the box. 35 in the box. 32 in the box. I see this. I see these numbers really shifting. We're probably around 32 in the box, 26 in the box. Wow, this is interesting. This is just going down by the second. 21 in the box. Wow, I'm watching this. This is really, really interesting. Where is it going to stabilize at? 21 in the box. Okay. Yeah, I hear you, says Empress Shannon. Okay. So my lady tells me, you know, let me tell you something about my daughter I haven't told you about before. I just thought about it. My daughter has a tattoo on one of her arms with that lady from the women's movement. And I'm like, no. So I go to my phone and I show her, is this the lady right here? She goes, yeah. I go, that's Rosie the Riveter. I said, babe, your daughter got a tattoo of Rosie the Riveter? I was like, oh boy. Whoo-wee, man. I'm just me talking about it right now. Like, look, here's the thing. Like I've said all the time, nothing wrong with women being liberated, having equal rights and all that stuff, right? But there's a difference between feminists and radical feminists, right? Every woman is a product of feminism. God bless your soul. I'm happy you have equal rights, right? But there are those women that take feminism a bit too far, and those women are called radical feminists, right? And I firmly believe, in my opinion, if you're a woman that's going to go as far and get a tattoo of Rosie the Riveter on your forearm, then you're a radical feminist. Then basically you are a woman that is angry and bitter because you can't figure out how to get what you want out of life in a world that's been primarily a man's world, but now women are liberated and you still can't figure it out. So now you're trying to flex your muscles by saying, hey, ladies, we can do it. We can stick together. Together, we are a powerful force to not be reckoned with, right? Okay, that's fine if you want it to be that way, but let me ask you ladies this, right? How attractive is that behavior to any decent alpha male you would want to have a life with, right? So she has, my girlfriend's 27-year-old daughter has a tattoo of Rosie the Riveter on her forearm. And now I know why her 27-year-old daughter is miserable and coming at her and everyone else, right? And now I know why her 27-year-old daughter is about to marry a beta male. No disrespect, he's a nice guy, but she doesn't respect him. This is what happens, folks. Her 27-year-old daughter, because she's a radical feminist, has a tattoo of Rosie the Riveter on her forearm, and has probably tried to get a more strong and confident man to be with her, but all those guys would look at that tattoo and look at her attitude and say, no thanks, I'm out, peace out, right? So she has to settle for the beta male provider that has no clue and probably has no clue who Rosie the Riveter is, right? Well, bro, let me tell you, bro, you're going to find out the hard way. Your pocketbook, bro, is going to find out the hard way unless you figure it out soon, brother. I mean, wow. Wow. I know I was bought at Janet. I mentioned that earlier. You probably didn't hear that part. And I know who bought at me. It was the mid-40s. The mid-40s guy from Louisiana. The unhappily married mid-40s guy from Louisiana. That's all it is. It's not a big deal. He can bot me every day. He can start botting me again if he wants. He probably botted me for an hour. Oh well. It's not a big deal, right? Yeah, I'm only going to do this side of the trail today because it is starting to get, the sun's starting to go down. I mean, it's not really dark yet, but the sun has gone down. And there's probably only going to be enough light for me to make it off this trail. Tomorrow I'll be doing a Walking with Purpose stream a lot earlier, and probably also doing an in-studio stream from the studio later on. I gotta say, folks, I'm just really disappointed at how the behavior of many, if not most, millennial men and women has turned out to be. I mean, if you look at the people that act out the most on social media, it's the millennials, right? There's a dude that's coming in the middle of the trail that I'm going to just move out to the side. There he is. He's coming right down the middle of the trail. So I might as well just get off the trail, dude, and let you hog up the whole trail for a second. It's all good. I've just never seen a generation that's behaved this way. And again, it has to do with the parents, like I've said before in the past. I talked to my lady about this, and, and yeah, she coddled her daughter. Not as much the son, but the daughter definitely. The son, actually, my lady's son has moved out of state where it's cheaper and is building his fortune and is really taking care of himself. But her daughter is struggling to even figure out what she wants to do for a living, and is struggling just to even try to be a decent person. She's not happy with herself. Now, I did mention, I believe yesterday or it was the day before, I think I did mention that my, girlfriend's daughter has gained a ton of weight. And she's probably not happy about that, but she can do something about that. And furthermore, talking about the tattoo of Rosie the Riveter, this is, again, on my, girlfriend's daughter's, arm. My lady said she got it after a relationship she had in the early 20s that went sour and where she was abused. Well, just because one guy does that to her doesn't mean she has to put her guard way up high and then become a radical feminist. And then, start acting all masculine and stuff and not being a girly girl anymore. Right? And my lady was asking me, well, what do I think caused it? What do I think happened? I said, well, I honestly think after that relationship, her friends got in her head. Maybe when she was going to college, people at her college she talked to got in their head and basically told her things like, oh, you don't need a man, you can do it all yourself, girl, you're strong and independent and you're tough and all this and that, right? That's what these women are hearing nowadays from a young age, right? So it gets ingrained in their brain, right? And my girlfriend's daughter, I think I've mentioned in the past, is certified to be, I think she's like a licensed cosmetologist. She has a license to be a cosmetologist, something that's just like my aunt has, right? But instead, she works as a receptionist in, a cosmetology business, I believe, and has no desire to use her license to start her own business and make more money. And why is that? My lady and I have been trying to figure it out. I told my lady, I said, maybe the women at the salon she's a receptionist at are a little older than her. Maybe some are her age, but maybe there are some older women that have been through divorce or been through bad relationships, and maybe they're getting in her head too and saying, girl, be strong, be independent, right? You know, don't let any man push you around, right? That's what these women are hearing, right? So when they come across real good men that are assertive and strong and normal, right, she's going to assume that these men are pushing her around. So she's not going to give those men the time of day, or those men won't give her the time of day, right? It just won't work. So she ends up settling for the beta male, right? And when she settles for the beta male, she may think she's happy about what she's getting, but she's unhappy about other aspects, because she's not going to have the emotional support she needs, right? And this guy is not going to be strong enough to protect her from danger if they get into danger. She sees him as weak, right? So, but why is she settling for him? Like I said the other day, she's settling for him because her biological clock is ticking. She's 27 years old. She wants to have 2 kids by the time she's 30, and then she's done, right? I mean, I've just never, ever seen a generation like this. There's never been any generation like this in our world's history. And I don't even think the predecessors to the millennials are as bad. The Gen Zers, the I generation, right? They're age 10 to 25, right? And Gen Y millennials are 25 to 40, and then over that, 41 to 55, I believe, is Gen Xers like me, right? The Gen Zers, yes, there are some of them that have inherited a lot of millennial traits, but they've really tried to turn it around. Is that a jackrabbit? Oh, I saw that big jackrabbit there on the trail. Got 27 in the box, 17 thumbs up. Thank you so much for being here, folks. Please smash the thumbs up. Please like, share, subscribe, bang the bell, select all notifications. I really think we need to start helping the millennials and our newer generation really understand what life is all about. A lot of these, kids were never taught responsibility, right? Because they've had everything handed to them. They've been coddled, right? Even my woman told me I was always there for that little girl. I did everything for her. My life was her. Nothing wrong with loving your child and being there for her, right? But you also have to let her try to live on her own so she can fall and learn how to correct those falls. Because now you're no longer in the picture with her and she's falling and doesn't know what the fuck to do, right? And now you want to reach out and try to help her when she's falling, and now she's telling you to fuck off. Her own mother, right? And I'm not blaming my lady or anyone else because, times changed, right? Women have been liberated. My lady was working full-time as a nurse, and her husband was working full-time as a cop. And that means, their marriage is going to suffer. And when their marriage suffers, their kids are going to see a marriage that's suffering. And what happens when a marriage suffers? A lot of times the parents make up for the lack of what's happening in their marriage by spending more time with their kids and doing more for their kids, which is further enabling this entitled behavior, right? And further not teaching them responsibility that they need to know, they need to learn and know when they get older. My lady's been hanging around my place the last 3 days, she's seen how I live my life. I clean as I go. Like, you know, after spending a day with her being out, going back to my place, and we have leftovers and stuff to bring in to the place, right? She just wants to sit down and relax and cuddle, right? And I said, baby, I got things to unpack and things to put away in the fridge and things to organize. And I'll be with you as soon as I can. You need any help? No, I got it, babe. It's all good. Right? Now, I appreciate her offering help, right? But look at me. I'm a man. I'm a man, and I'm very well domesticated because I was raised right. I was raised with good old-fashioned morals, values, and ethics. I was raised to be responsible, right? I learned responsibility, right? And I learned accountability and all that stuff, right? These kids nowadays are, and I hate to say it, again, nothing wrong with women being liberated, nothing wrong with women being independent and working, but look what it's done to the family. Look what it's done to the family, right? And it's interesting to me, the more and more I spend time with my lady. We've been together over 6 months now, and the more and more she follows my content. Now she started to follow other people's content, like yours, Janet, and other people. She's really gotten into this, and she's really beginning to realize, number one, why her marriage probably failed, and why her kids turned out the way they turned out. And why is the world the way it is right now? Why is it so difficult? Why is it so difficult to have a happily married couple and have happy kids that turn out okay? Because in my opinion, you can't artificially change the way things are, right? No disrespect. I love women, and I think women should have a fair shot to do whatever they want to do, right? But are women truly happy in a liberated world? Are women truly happy being independent and not needing a man for anything? And can women really survive, without a man, right? I've said this before, I'll say it again. If all the men died in the world and it was all women, could women survive? Could women keep our infrastructure going as well as men have? No disrespect. I'm not saying that there aren't any women that aren't capable. Maybe there are some. But are there enough women that are capable and love to work on our infrastructure, like the power lines and stuff like that, and power plants and all that, right? Okay? To keep it going, right? But I will tell you, every woman I've talked to, I've asked my current lady and all my exes, look at these power lines up here. These electrical transmission power lines, right? Would you have a problem, or would you be okay with doing a job that requires you to walk up one of these electrical transmission power lines in the middle of a storm because the power line went down and you need to go up into that transmission tower and restore power in the neighborhood and risk getting electrocuted because it's raining? Would you enjoy doing a job like that, or do you think that men are better suited for that job? And every woman I've asked this to says, fuck no, I wouldn't want to do that. You can do that, babe. Right? And this is with no disrespect at all. This is with no disrespect at all. If any woman wants to climb up that damn tower, if the power line snaps and it's crucial to having power being restored in the middle of a raining storm and risk getting electrocuted, be my guest. And we'll pay you the same we pay men to do it, no problem. But do women enjoy doing this? No, they don't. At least most don't, right? And this is my whole thing here. I'm all for women having equal rights. I'm all for women being liberated and all of that, right? But I honestly firmly believe that women's lib has made things more difficult for women overall than made things easier. Because what happened when you liberated women is how do I say this without getting demonetized? When you liberated women, you started feminizing men, right? You can't have, you know, you can't have two chiefs in a relationship, right? There's a chief and an Indian, right? That's a figure of speech I learned from Coach Corey Wayne. You can't have two chiefs in a relationship. And nowadays, if the man is masculine and the woman behaves more masculine than feminine, it's like having two chiefs in the relationship. It's just one has a different body part, right? The sexual polarity will not be there. It doesn't work, right? So again, while I'm all for women's lib, what women's lib has done, it has artificially changed the ways that women were biologically made to live their life, right? I believe in God, and whether you believe or not, I still love you, but basically, God made man and woman. God made man to be the provider. God made woman to be the nurturer, the caretaker. Again, in this modern world, listen, I don't expect women to want to be barefoot, pregnant in the kitchen, right? But that's what men and women were biologically and naturally made to be. Feminism and women's lib has artificially changed what women were biologically designed to be. And again, more power to women that want to work and do all that. But I am telling you folks, that dude has been riding that skateboard, the electric skateboard, on this trail. And he went out and came back. I thought he was cutting across to get somewhere. Because you're going to get no exercise going on this trail with an electric motorized skateboard. You're getting no exercise. Folks, get your questions, comments, concerns in the chat. We're going to be going off the air in a few minutes. We are at 92 minutes, an hour. Well, minus probably a minute for the cutoffs. We're at 91 minutes, an hour and 31 minutes. It's going to be getting dark here soon. The iPhone 12 Pro Max does a great job with, the auto exposure. I mean, you tell them, is it a beautiful shot or what? I really wish they would broadcast in higher than 720p at 30 frames per second on these mobile streams, because it would do it more justice. But I think you can still tell. Another thing I was telling my lady. Let me go off the air and make sure that I don't have any other chat messages. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. James hates women. No, he doesn't hate women. He hates himself. NC is queen. Empress Janet says, they spending money to trigger is a LO to be set. I don't know what you meant by that, Janet. Can you be more clear, please? Is the daughter close with her dad? Yeah, they're pretty close. Yeah, no, I mean, my girlfriend's daughter, obviously exudes more masculine energy than feminine energy. And yeah, I mean, I guess she's become closer with her father, and her father is a cop, so that could be part of where she gets it from. But I think it's more so her friends and the people that she's associated with, other women that are going up to her and saying, like, those women like on The View. You watch those women on The View, right? That show The View. It's a drama show, and they talk smack about men and other things, right? They're like, girl, you don't need a man for anything. You don't need a man for anything. You're independent. You're strong. You're beautiful. You don't need a man. That man just hurt you. Forget about that man. Just focus on yourself, right? So when a young woman in her 20s continues to hear stuff like that, it's going to get in her head, right? That's what happens. That's part of what happens. But yeah, she's probably become closer to her father. And another reason why it is embarrassing behavior, unpopped popcorn sock account. Okay? And I forgot what I was going to say. Give me a second here. Janet, are you thinking that that unpopped popcorn account is liking trolling? He's probably been trolling a lot. Unless he's finally simulcasting again. Maybe he's given up completely and no longer simulcasting. Give me a second here, folks. Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say. I had something to say about my lady's, daughter and the behavior. But I totally forgot. If I remember, I'll share before I go off the air. If not, we can always talk about it another time. But folks, get your questions, comments, and concerns in the chat. Going to be going off the air in about 5 minutes or less. Heading back to my car. It's getting a little chilly, and I'm going to head back to my place where my lady's there waiting for me, and we're going to have some dinner, and then, snuggle up in the California king-size bed and enjoy the night. Let's just put it that way. Let's be respectful about it, right? It's a beautiful night out here, don't you think, folks? It's just amazing how amazing the iPhone, especially the iPhone Pros and Pro Maxes, capture video and pictures nowadays. It's just amazing that you can even do this. It's like a portable television studio. Like TV stations have like news bands with satellites and all that stuff, right? We can just get on our smartphone and broadcast live on YouTube. Who the hell was that person that was just trying to gun it at me? That dude looked at me and gunned it right around the corner when he saw my camera. Oh, well, it's not a big deal. It is what it is. Let me just make this statement here. I'm definitely willing to talk to anyone here. I'm willing to talk to anyone. I'm willing to make amends. I'm willing to let this go. Even you, like in Legion, you want to talk, I'll talk with you. But I'm not going to do it on your channels. Right? And I won't even do it on my channel. I'd be willing to do it on a channel like Empress Janet or what do you call it? Adventures with JT. Or even Coach J-Rom. Legion, let me ask you this. Legion, let me put this out to you here and see if you have the balls to do this. Let's see how much of a man you really are, James Legion. Let's go one-on-one. Let's have a civil conversation about all this, but not on your channel, not on my channel. We'll do it on Empress Janet's channel. Let's do it on Empress Janet's channel. You up for that, Janet? I'm up for that. Right? Because that way you have no control over that on your channel. I have no control on my channel. We can have a neutral place where we can have a conversation and settle our differences like grown-ass men. Are you willing to do that, or are you going to admit to people that this is all fabricated and it's not worth your time? Right? It's not fabricated for me. Is it fabricated for you? And if not, are you willing to talk about it with me? One-on-one on someone else's channel? Because I'm ready to talk, James, and put this behind us and let bygones be bygones, right? And also, if you want to talk, Jess, Granny's watching, you want to have me on one of your panels, I'm happy to come on. Natasha, I don't know you that well, but hey, you want to talk with me? My door is open. She's not watching my stuff. She's too busy. And maybe, Granny's watching us too. Hey, I'm open to talking with anyone. I'm open to spreading the love and trying to help bring together as many people as possible. If you want to make that happen, you can reach out to me by going below in the description and find my email, Coach Eli at coacheliasmelas.com. That's Coach Eli at coacheliasmelas.com. I'm going to dox myself even though I've always been here. People know where I'm at, right? Yeah, Eli doxes himself, when he goes live. How's it doxing when I say I'm here all the time? What are you guys going to do? Fly across the country and come hang out? Let's go take a hike or a walk together. Let's do it. I don't mind. Reach out to me, folks. Let's make some things happen. Tomorrow, a couple shows coming from me. One will be a Walking with Purpose stream in the late morning, early afternoon, and then I'll be doing a night show. I've got plenty of topics to go over. My lady's been sending me a lot of topics, a lot of good stuff. So we're going to do a studio show tomorrow. And then on Friday, Empress Janet and I are going to be doing a show together. And honestly, Janet, if you want to bring a panel of people on, as long as they're respectful, that's fine. I don't mind who comes on. I don't even mind if the mid-30s guy, if Legion wants to come on. If he's disrespectful, I'll just ignore him, right? Or you can just boot him off. But I really don't care anymore. Let's handle this once and for all like men, right? Right? Let's truly see if this mid-30s guy, the Lycan Legion guy, can really man up. How about you show people that you have a little more class than they think you do? All right, folks. I want to thank you all for being here. We're leaving 19 in the box, 17 thumbs up. Please smash the thumbs up whether you're here live or on the replay. Please also, share this out on your community walls. Share it out on social media. Subscribe, bang the bell, select the notifications. And I'm going to hop off the air. All right, folks, we're back. We're back. Let me see here. Truth bomb, tell him, Eli, we can't. Email me on the topic. A lot to be said, clarifying Eli. He said things to hurt you. He said things to you that I would say, yes, Eli, he is triggered. Who, James is triggered? How do you know he's triggered? Hope you're having a good night, Eli. Thanks for the good show. Eli's scene is amazing. Thank you, Janet. He would have to do it in an unbiased channel. I would help Eli. I would stay out of it. Yes, Eli, I would only allow you to no jumping, and my issue with him will not stop me from helping. I want this for you. I want it for you too, Janet. Okay, did you have a topic, Eli, for Friday? We'll talk about that through email tomorrow, Janet. Good job, Eli. He won't, but you're a bigger man than he is. Okay, Friday will be freedom from foes or finally friends. He needs to make up his mind. James shut his stream down. Oh, so you're telling me James was simulcasting this? That's fine. That's fine. Not a problem at all. It's not a big deal. I'll tell you this, Here's the thing, James. How big of a man are you? How much of a man are you? Are you that much of a sissy, James, to the point of where you cannot confront a man one-on-one and settle your differences? A man that you've called C-U-C-K Eli all this time, right? Are you that much of a sissy boy to the point of where we can't just hash this out like two grown-ass adults on someone else's channel, not yours or mine? How much more support are you going to lose? How much more respect are people going to lose for you? And how much self-respect have you continued to lose for yourself, bro? I told you, James, that the secret to this is not getting triggered. When the moment I figured out that your game is about triggering people, and the people that don't get triggered are the ones that win, that's when I turned it around. Now you're triggered, bro. You're triggered because you can't trigger me. Right? But again, if you're the big man on campus, James, and if you're saying, hey, you're better than me. If you say you're better looking than me, you say that, you're more of a man than me and whatever, right? Then why don't you confront me one-on-one? Let's talk about it like two grown-ass men, and let's show the people out here on YouTube how much class you really have. Yep. Yeah, he probably did simulcast me because he has no other content. No content and no balls. Right? No balls to have a one-on-one with me. Right? This is your chance, dude. This is your chance to settle the score, to settle our differences once and for all. This is your chance to save yourself from a whole world of shit that's about to come down on you. And I say that respectfully. The choice is yours, bro. Have a good night, everyone. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Oh, and as always, be good to each other.